Today we have with us Dane Knecht, the CTO of Cloudflare.
Hi, thanks for having me on today.
What do you feel about Bangalore?
Bangalore's been awesome. I got here on Saturday. The weather here is amazing. The traffic is not so great.
Do you think a developer can start at $0 and start building an AI application?
I think we've given developers the tools to both spend time focusing on their code and making it easy for them to deploy and have it available globally everywhere.
What do you think about vibe coding in general?
A great way for non-developers to build and create things. But then on the other side,
Do you think the curiosity is being affected by these Gen AI apps or chatbots?
in general, with AI, I think it's just amplifying the best people, the people that are already, ambitious and high performers. I think it's, allowing them to, even excel even more.
You mentioned security as one of the aspects.
I think a lot of companies have kind of thrown out the best practices around security just to move fast, even if that means
How much of the code in Cloudflare is being generated by AI? Welcome to another episode of Tech Talks. This is Ankush, a senior tech journalist from AI Media House. Today we have with us Dane Knecht, the CTO of Cloudflare. Hi, Dane.
Hi, thanks for having me on today.
And it was lovely to have you on board because I personally use a lot of Cloudflare products. I'm sure at our company we also use Cloudflare in some way or the other. So it was really nice to meet you. And to start with, the first obvious question, what do you feel about Bangalore?
Bangalore's been awesome. I got here on Saturday. Been able to get to meet people of all ages, from kids in high school all the way to some of the senior-most tech leaders here in Bangalore. The enthusiasm, the builder, the instinct to want to build and ship and make great products, seems to be in everyone's blood here. The weather here is amazing. The traffic is not so great, but it's been a great trip.
And what would you think if you compare it to Silicon Valley? Is this people call Bangalore as the Silicon Valley of India? So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I definitely think the entrepreneurial spirit is alive here, similar to Silicon Valley. There's a great concentration of talent. India has a great education system, a set of universities that help develop that talent. I think this similar to the kind of the American spirit of wanting to build and improve yourself, I think is very much alive here as well.
And I also noticed like you've been at Cloudflare for a very long time. I think a bit over 13 years, and you have had different roles up until now. You was the CTO. So how has your journey been so far?
Yeah, I joined Cloudflare when it was under 30 people as the kind of first product engineering lead. Got to build a lot of the original products. I love building new things, and so as our original products, our infrastructure protection, DDoS, WAF, performance products with the cache kind of really matured. I wanted to kind of build new things and figure out ways of using our network to provide more value for our customers. So I got to split off and build a team called Emerging Tech and Incubation, which allowed me to take a lot of bets and build a lot of new things and see what customers got excited about, and then invest behind that demand. And then more recently, obviously, as you mentioned, I became CTO, where I've gotten to spend a lot more time with some of our largest customers, with the teams across the company, making sure that we continue to build critical infrastructure that powers the internet.
What does it take to be a CTO?
Good question. I think it takes actually similar traits to what I think we expect of all employees at Cloudflare. Just I think you need to have a lot of curiosity. You need to always be asking why something like this, and challenging people, pushing the team to think bigger, build more ambitious, audacious things. I think have empathy for our customers, our partners, our the teams and figure out how to get them the tools and get them and deliver the value to our customers and understand their problems and find great solutions for them.
Got it. And you mentioned about curiosity. Now, with the age of AI and all the chatbots there are, do you think like the curiosity is being affected by these Gen AI apps or chatbots?
In general, with AI, I think it's just amplifying the best people. It's just letting the people that were already ambitious and high performers. I think it's allowing them to even excel even more. When there's a question where because I think a trait of great people is curiosity and listening, and where all those questions that you have might have taken a lot more time before. It's you've the ability to go do the research and get that information, and then to learn it, and then to internalize it. That whole cycle time is a lot faster now.
Now that we talked about AI, let's like finally address the technology in question that is Cloudflare is very bullish about MCPs or Model Context Protocol. So people imagine everyone is talking about MCPs. So what the heck is MCP? What would you say?
Yeah, the internet is the web is full of a lot of unstructured data. Is full of a lot of applications that have different APIs. And APIs are ways in a programmatic way to talk to those applications. And AI needed a language to be able to talk to them, to be able to get information, to be able to in a consistent way be able to control them. And MCP is an early protocol that is kind of becomes like a universal translator for creating standard ways for the models to reach into applications and get both retrieve information as well as command them and get them to perform actions.
Also, what would you think if like are MCPs the hyped trend, or is it like is it really useful? Is it or it's same as the API? What did it to the internet?
Whether it's the protocol, the end state of how LLMs communicate later, in 5 years from now, I don't know. Is it a step on that journey? Standards take a long time to coalesce. The best protocols usually are just done by starting and learning. And I applaud the people behind MCP Anthropic for getting something out there that people are using because it has value. If it didn't have value, people wouldn't be using it. And also their ability to evolve it quickly. Obviously it started as something that can be done locally on your machine with no authentication. And very quickly, they took feedback that people wanted remote MCPs with authentication and encryption, and they continued to evolve it. And there are other kind of competing projects where my guess is over time they all start to coalesce with each other and take the best of each one and evolve from there.
Also, like with all these technologies, including MCP, there are so many technologies who are putting out their best products or ideas. Like for who would you say you look up to in terms of those technologies? Like any personality in particular, just like Elon Musk or something like that?
I mean, I'm more just amazed by the community as a whole, the amount of stuff that is getting put out and the rate of change. I don't think I've ever seen the people leapfrogging each other in such a short time frame. The best model today, literally in 5 days, can be leapfrogged by someone else, and I think each of them are driving each other to build upon each other, and that evolution, I think, is pretty amazing. So, I mean, I wouldn't say there's a specific team or person. I would say it's more of the general community behind AI, and whether it's the people building the foundational models, the people building the infrastructure underneath it, building the vertical applications, finding unique use cases and ways to use it.
Mhm.
I think I'm just kind of amazed by the community as a whole for it to evolve this fast.
Are you rooting for any particular specific company, like personally or through your partnerships?
No, no. I think I think competition's good, and I think
Okay.
that's actually partially what's driving things.
Mhm.
And I don't think there's going to be one winner. I
Mhm.
think there'll be several that. I think that's better for everyone.
And coming back to the MCPs, what do you think are the challenges now developers or people face to implement it, or they're not really aware of it? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think with AI, security is still like the Wild West, and anytime there's a new hype cycle around technology, we tend to reinvent things. And MCP, some people would say, is reinventing APIs, but you do need a whole new set of tooling around it. You need tooling for observability.
Mhm.
You need tooling for auditing. You need tooling for the security, data loss prevention, a new WAF, layer 7
Mhm.
type WAF for the protocol. You need data governance around the data and the flow of data. And so, in some ways, we are kind of recreating things that we've built in the past, just for a new domain.
And like you mentioned, security as one of the aspects. Like, what do you think about the security flaws people are calling out for MCP? Like, some say that you should not use MCP as a technology because it has a lot of security flaws. What do you think about it?
In general with AI, I think a lot of companies have kind of thrown out the best practices around security just to move fast.
Um,
They've said, let's move fast and not get left behind,
mhm.
even if that means putting us at more risk. I don't think that's a good thing. Um, uh, um, and while the MCP protocol is not perfect,
Mhm.
I think, as I said before, the teams have done a good job of taking that feedback, adding OAuth and security wrapping
Mhm.
around that to provide those type of solutions. I don't think the tooling that companies have, the standard tooling is there to then provide the observability layer and the other things around that, which I think those things need to catch up. But that's not necessarily a fault of MCP. That's more of a just the ecosystem and the way
Mhm.
things are moving so fast haven't caught up to the tooling needed for it.
And where do you think Cloudflare stands at the moment in respect to MCPs and AI agents at the moment?
We're incredibly bullish about being the connectivity point for all AI. And MCP is one of the protocols
Mm.
that allows to provide connectivity between uh, the LLM and your client
Mhm.
and information out there out on the internet.
Mhm.
And I think agents are a great way of companies getting real business value out of inference.
Mhm.
I don't think the chat interface is the best interface that we can possibly put out there for getting business value.
Mhm.
And so I think agents that actually can more autonomously do things for you. And I think Cloudflare has built kind of the perfect infrastructure for that. We provide an infrastructure that is 50 milliseconds from 95% of the population. So, an agent that's acting on behalf of a person acting on behalf of you, you want it to be close to you.
Mhm.
You want it to, have the same data localization governance requirements as you. So
Mhm.
you want it to be in region. You want it to be secure.
Mhm.
You want it to be fast.
Mhm.
And Cloudflare provides those kind of compute primitives where we give you a durable object on the edge that combines both the context, the memory needed for inference,
Mhm.
as well as the compute, and then the connectivity to the rest of the internet for that. So you can build agents on there and do it in a fast, secure way.
How do you think developers utilize Cloudflare right now? Do you think a developer can start at $0 by just signing up with Cloudflare and start building an AI application?
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see that all day, every day. The our agent framework has just taken off because I think we took a very different approach to a lot of the other agent frameworks you see out there. Other agent frameworks are really about giving you a prescriptive way of building the code and building the workflows. Where our agent framework was a lot about giving you a secure runtime, and then allowing you to pull in your standard best tooling inside of that to build the agents. I think we've given developers the tools to both spend time focusing on their code and making it easy for them to deploy once and have it available globally everywhere, where they don't have to worry about scalability, security, and other kind of common things when you have to manage your own infrastructure.
And to educate all these developers who are new to the Cloudflare ecosystem, what do you think Cloudflare is doing or you should do?
Well, I mean, I think we need to, just make our tools easier and easier so that people can just get started. But I think we're focused a lot on the community and our documentation, our tutorials, meeting developers where they are. So if that's in our Discord server, or if that's on Twitter, on Reddit, in real life at hackathons around the world, we want to be there to provide them the support. And partially why we're so excited to be here in Bangalore is, I think the community here is pretty amazing, and we want to provide them resources here on the ground so that they can learn more about the platform.
And how do you think competitors like AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google are doing on this front compared to Cloudflare? What are your thoughts on it? What should they do better, or are they doing something wrong?
I don't think they're doing anything wrong necessarily. It's just I think we're taking a very different approach. They build out huge data centers that are very capital intensive and have one model of building out regions, and our goal is to try to abstract a lot of that away from the users, where they can just focus on their code more and focus and building and deploying to region Earth, as opposed to figuring out, do I need to deploy to the Bombay region or the Mumbai region, or do I need to deploy to US East, and try to have to figure out where my customers or where my users are going to be. I think CloudFlare just kind of abstracts that all away for them.
Dane, I would ask you something related to what's trending nowadays. Have you heard of the term like vibe coding?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about vibe coding in general?
I think vibe coding is a great way to prototype, a great way for non-developers to easily build and create things. I kind of think of it, was thinking back to like when Dreamweaver, made building on the web more accessible to more people. When we talk about using LLMs to code inside of Cloudflare, we actually have a rule: no vibe coding. Because when you're building kind of lower level systems, you need to be thinking more about more still the standard. How do you build secure distributed systems and that are fast, and so we want the LLMs to assist and be a partner with the developers. But at the end of the day, we want the developers to own their code and to when they check it in, to say they put their name against it. But then on the other side, we've seen people on our finance team at Cloudflare that have started building personal applications by vibe coding that they could never have done before, and that I think is a great use for.
Have you tried vibe coding something?
Yeah, no, built small applications, played around with it with my kids, to let them help kind of describe something that they wanted to build, and it's amazing what can be done, and to get you kind of to that 0 to 1 so fast.
Do you have a favorite AI code editor or a platform where you vibe code things?
Things change so fast. I tend to be on the bandwagon of whatever the latest newest thing is. So I like to try out new things and be an early adopter of them. So that changes on a daily basis.
And about MCPs, where do you think it's going for in the next 2 to 5 years?
I think it will start to standardize more. I think the tooling will continue to evolve around it. Whether it's called MCP or some standards bodies pick it up and bring a larger community around to help develop it. But I think the need for it is here to stay. The need for LLMs and the tools around that to have a way to speak to applications, to data, to and bring that context into the conversation is definitely needed. And I don't think that sort of the traditional APIs provided the best interface for that. So I do think it serves a need and a place in our ecosystem.
With all these AI agents and MCP interactions, where do you think these like crawlers come? AI crawlers from ChatGPT and Perplexity. And recently, I also noticed Cloudflare has started to block those crawlers from websites. So, do you think Cloudflare just became an enemy for AI companies or chatbots with those kind of moves?
No, I mean, I think in order for AI to survive, it needs great content. Great content is what it lives on and feeds it. So we need a vibrant open internet where people are creating content either for because they want to monetize it or for notoriety and but in order for that to work, they do need to be compensated, and they do need to be acknowledged for those contributions. And so I think what Cloudflare is doing is we're trying to help facilitate that conversation between the publishers and the content creators and the AI models, so that both the largest media companies in the world, as well as the long tail media companies, and also the largest AI companies in the world, and also the long tail of AI startups, both have equal access to data in a way that's sustainable. And so I think that's what we're trying to provide. That we're trying to facilitate that conversation.
So when you decided this thing to go public with or to develop it, did you think it would hamper your relationship with some AI companies, or would it not?
I mean, we've had an open dialogue with them for a very long time, and I think the trick is that no AI company, AI companies are already making deals with a lot of the publishers, and you hear about them licensing content all the time. But I think they don't want to be fools and be the only one paying for content. And so I think they actually welcome a system that helps level the playing fields.
And what would you think are the partnerships I mentioned? I noticed Reddit is one of the companies in the conversation. Quora is one of the companies. So all these companies working with the AI companies as well. Like suppose Reddit is also was a partner or is a partner with OpenAI in some way, and it's also working with Cloudflare. So how do you see those kind of partnerships working?
I mean, I think we're just providing them the guardrails so that they can audit and understand how the AI companies are using their data. We still expect those large publishers to be doing direct deals with the large AI companies, but hopefully it also opens up those sources of content to a larger community of agents being built by people that don't have access to cut them huge checks and want to be able to still leverage their content for building their derivative products.
Have you had some kind of test run for this blocking AI crawlers?
So I mean, this is nothing new in the sense that a lot of those publications that you mentioned, they've already had robots.txt. And robots.txt is a long-standing protocol where crawlers websites can signal to crawlers how they're allowed to and what they're allowed to crawl on their site. And a lot of those have already blocked those crawlers or allowed them based on that. But we've also seen some of the largest publishers in the world that they've had typos in their robots.txt. It's a manual thing, and it also requires your tech team and to make changes. And the Cloudflare has always been about democratizing the tooling that the largest companies have and make it easy for everyone. And so our real goal is to make sure that the publishers have controls to decide how they want to be crawled and accessed, and not necessarily that we're trying to make the decisions for them, but just giving them the tools.
And now we have talked about MCPs, AI agents, but at the core of Cloudflare, you have like all the web network, all the websites using Cloudflare. So how do you think, like, when a website that is malicious in nature or controversial in nature, and that uses Cloudflare for security purposes, how do you think Cloudflare deals with such kind of websites or web services?
I don't think it's Cloudflare's place to decide what content is good or bad. We do have a trust and safety team that focuses on making sure that we are abiding by all the laws in all the places where we exist, and having an open dialogue with everyone, and making sure that we still keep the internet as open as possible.
And like Cloudflare powers, I don't know the percentage, like particular percentage, but it powers a lot of the websites. And when a network of websites go down, this like Cloudflare is could be one of the causes that they're also down. So when that happens, how does your like day at work look like? It's completely havoc everywhere, or how does it look like?
I mean, it's a bad day when we let down our customers, and we let down all the users. That's something that we take very seriously, and it's all hands on deck. Both trying to remediate the problem, trying to understand it, running postmortems to understand what went wrong and how we got to that place, and then making sure we prevent it. Cloudflare is very one of our core values is transparency, and so we very quickly try to no matter how it makes us look, we try to get up the facts and the information as quickly as possible on our blog, and explain what happened, and make sure that people realize that we're a place that they can trust, both and to do the right thing, and that we hopefully never make the same mistake twice, and constantly learning from them, and to get better and deliver better solutions. But it's definitely not a good day for us, and I think people take it very personally when we do let down our customers.
I'm sure most of the developers watching this video already know what Cloudflare is, but with so many people already using the platform, do you have any interesting figures to share, like the percentage of developers using, or the revenue stats of the developers using, or enterprises? Do you have anything stats that you can share?
I mean, we have several million developers that use us every day. Tens of thousands of sites sign up for us every day. Over 20% of the internet flows through us. At this point, at any given, we pretty much anybody that's on the internet at any given point during the day has gone through the Cloudflare infrastructure. Our continue quarter over quarter to see more and more users adopting our services, both from our original infrastructure protection to our zero trust solutions to our developer products.
Also, you mentioned the rapid pace of development in the AI space. With all of that, how do you think Cloudflare is helping the legacy systems or the legacy companies migrate to the newer infrastructure or the newer technologies like MCP or AI agents? How do you think Cloudflare is playing a role with that?
Yeah, a lot of companies that have legacy, Cloudflare is a very opinionated way of building. If you build in our way, it's you get that highly scalable, horizontally scalable, geographically distributed applications from day one. But you do have to make some trade-offs, and companies traditionally are slower to migrate legacy things to that. What's great about AI is there is no legacy, and companies that want to move fast, and the great thing about MCPs was we created a framework. We made it really easy for people to do it, and we saw a huge adoption from companies from PayPal to Sentry to Canva, building on top of us, and very quickly getting out MCP servers to the world.
What do you think Cloudflare has plans for next?
Our developer platform, we want to continue to add more primitives around storage and compute. We want to make it the developer experience easier for developers to use. We want to provide website owners the controls that you mentioned around who can access their content. We want to provide them some of the payment rails so that if they do want to charge for content, we can make it easy for both sides and help facilitate that transaction. And I think you'll continue to see us innovate across our entire suite of products, as well as launch some new things like constantly, like we always do. Yeah.
Would you like to give any sneak peek of a product that's coming up? Because Cloudflare is shipping products like very fast, and I've been noticing every day something new is there. So, any sneak peek that you can give us?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty excited about the container and sandbox launch last week. They're both very early in their development cycle. I think you'll see, our sandbox environment. Today was focused around containers as the runtime. I think you'll also see us launch other runtimes to be able to back that. And basically, the sandboxes are really needed for heavily in AI because the LLMs are generating a lot of the code, and that's somewhat an untrusted code. And we want to make it easy for people to build AI in a safe way. And so pretty excited to see that kind of evolve.
I would like to follow up quickly while you mentioned LLM generated code. So also I noticed a Cloudflare developer used AI to generate a code for a project, a GitHub project, and that's officially being used by Cloudflare. So how much of the code in Cloudflare is being generated by AI, if you will?
So we've been pretty conservative with our internal use of AI because just from our we are a security company at heart, and we are very sensitive with our customer data and making sure that we're protecting it, and we want to make sure that any tooling we use doesn't compromise on that. So we've started by allowing developers to use it on open source projects, like you mentioned, and have seen great success with that. Not as a tool to vibe code a new SDK, but to use it as a coding partner. So, someone where you can describe the problem, you can talk through different solutions with, and develop with it in tandem. And I think that's been very successful. And we're continuing to roll those tools out more broadly. But I think it is best used as at least today as a coding partner, not necessarily especially for a security company to generate the code kind of autonomously and without human supervision.
Do you plan to enforce some kind of policy for AI use in your company?
So we recently, my former chief of staff, his now role is figuring out how to make our entire company more AI first, and looking at roles across the company and figuring out what jobs are being done, what tasks, and figuring out what candidates there that can be use AI to make them more efficient. And in most cases, it's not trying to take something that took an hour and automate it completely. The best use cases we found is actually instead of it taking an hour, making it take 5 minutes. Where the human is still involved, and that's where we've had the most success.
Last one, where do you see AI applications progressing in the future?
AI will really kind of take off beyond where it is today is when it starts to disappear more into the applications we already use every day, where it is providing value to our existing workflows and our existing jobs in a way that is just makes everything easier for us. I don't necessarily want to have to chat with someone to tell it what I want to do. I want to be it to be observing and it to be analyzing and it to be more proactive in saying, hey, do you need me to do this for you based on all the context of everything else around you? So, I'll be excited when AI kind of disappears more into the background.
Do you think AI will take away parts of job? Maybe a CTO, an AI CTO?
I think where a lot of my job is judgment, and so I still think human in the loop will be needed. Hopefully, it makes me a lot more efficient. Hopefully, it allows me to do my job better. I don't see it replacing entire jobs in the short term. In the long term, yeah, I think there's definitely places where there's jobs today that won't need to be we won't need, but then there'll be other places where new jobs will be created, and we'll get people to operate and spend more time on more higher value tasks.
It was great talking to you, Dane, and that would be all for my questions.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.